Hi, I'm Wellissimo, and I'm celebrating the month of October with a video every single day. Normally, I make writing-related content on this channel, but this month my videos are all about celebrating fall, harvest, and Halloween. If those things are of interest to you, subscribe and come along for the ride. It's VEDIO!
Hi, it's Wellissimo and welcome to another VEDIO video. Today I'm going to be going over 10 activities you can do in October that aren't pumpkin picking. There are a ton of lists on the internet that go over the top 10 things to do in October. This is not one of those lists. I just feel like when you're going for the top 10, they start to feel a little repetitive. It's always pumpkin picking, choosing a costume, decorating for Halloween. We all know that these are things to do in October. So I wanted to do a bit of a dive into my extensive list of personal traditions and pull out some that might be new to you. These are in no particular order, except for they're like a little bit in chronological order, but other than that, no particular order. Number one is celebrate the clock changing from September 30th to October 1st with a cocktail at midnight. Past few years, my sister and I have lit a candle, had some music on, and we stay up until midnight on September 30th and ring in the turn of the month with a toast. Usually we just do sparkling apple cider because neither of us are big drinkers, but there are a myriad of Halloween themed cocktails out there, and I'll link a few below. Also, I know this video is going up after October 1st, and so you can't do this tradition this year, but if you wanted to, you could stay up on October 30th and celebrate the beginning of Halloween by having a cocktail at midnight. But in future years, I highly recommend doing this on September 30th. I think it's a great tradition to really celebrate and kick off the festivities for the rest of the month. Activity number 2 is take an afternoon and drive around and see the foliage. If you live in New England, this is like not a new idea to you. I grew up in Texas, so going leaf peeping is actually very novel and exciting for me, and I try and do it every single year. If you live in a place that doesn't get foliage, then I recommend that you wait until the end of the month and instead pick an afternoon and drive around and look at all of the Halloween decorations in the front yards. If you've ever spent the winter holidays driving around to look at all the pretty lights on the houses, this is kind of like that, except for Halloween instead of like Christmas. If you've heard of a neighborhood in your area that is known or like famous for being prime trick-or-treating, my recommendation is that you go there because it's a safe bet. They're gonna have some pretty good yards to ogle at. Activity number 3 is to make yourself a stovetop simmer. All you do is fill up a big pot of water, throw in a bunch of ingredients, and let it sit on your stove all afternoon on a simmer, and it will make your home feel and smell amazing. In the fall, I recommend apples, cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, maybe even some allspice, basically anything that would be in like a blend of pumpkin spice, vanilla, tea bags, whatever smells good. Put it in the simmer. If you want to make this tradition even more Halloween-y, you could say a spell over your bubbling cauldron. That would just be fun, and I think it's a good way to remember to be intentional as you do small activities like this. They can really bring a lot of joy into your life if you take a moment to appreciate them while you do them. I actually should have 2 separate videos of 2 of my favorite summers to do this time of year, and those will be coming up on later dates. Keep an eye out. Activity number 4 is have your fortune told or tell somebody else's fortune. You could go out to a psychic and pay and, you know, do all that stuff. I would recommend being careful. I have heard a lot of stories of people going to psychics and then being told that they have a curse on them, and then they have to pay like 5 installments of $500 to get the curse removed. Anyway, I would just do some DIY fortune telling at home. There are lots of ways you can do it. Tarot cards, oracle cards, reading tea leaves, astrology, I guess, technically yes. And what is even more fun is doing a whole bunch, and then the scientist side of me likes to write down the predictions and then after a certain period of time kind of see which came true, if any. Activity number 5 is if you're more of a homebody, I recommend kind of pushing yourself out of your comfort zone and checking to see if you have any fall festivals in your area and going to them. I really prefer to stay at home. I don't go out and about that much, but but there is just something about a fall festival. It's so joyful, it's warm, even if it's like actually cold outside. It can be scary if they've got like a haunted corn maze, but for the most part, everybody's in a really good mood. It's such a great way of celebrating the season. There's just something about a fall festival. Activity number 6 is to send out Halloween cards. If people do this for the winter holidays, I don't understand why we don't do it also for Halloween. If you don't want to go out and buy a bunch of greeting cards, you can totally make them yourself. You could just write letters on regular paper and decorate them with stickers or stamps, or you could get some nice cardstock paper and make your own. I think most people don't receive a ton of greeting cards / holiday cards for Halloween, so they have always been quite a big hit whenever I've sent them out. Activity number 7 is if you're looking for something softer, quieter, cozier to do, pick a Halloween craft. Needlepoint, cross stitch, crochet, painting, whatever. It's something to do to keep your hands busy, but also keep you mentally in the mood for Halloween. And the great thing about this is when you finish, you have an extra item to add to your decor collection. Or you could be a nice person and give it away as a gift. That too. Activity number 8. Okay, this one, there's no way this is unique to me, but it is absolutely in my top 10 every single year. I always do this, and so I had to put it on here, and that is to have a Halloween movie marathon. Some weekend afternoons, you just want to sit on the couch and watch like 3 movies all in a row. There are an abundance of Halloween movies out there, of like different genres of Halloween movies, right? You have like a whole collection of scary movies and a whole collection of like happy family-friendly movies. You could watch 3 of one, 3 of the other, or pull a Barbenheimer and like 1 really happy movie and 1 really horrifying scary movie. It's up to you. Activity number 9 is to throw a dumb supper. This is an old tradition where you throw a dinner hosted at midnight and nobody talks. That's why it's called a dumb supper. Also can leave places at the table for your departed family members as a way of like honoring your ancestors. It can be really sweet and sentimental to kind of include their favorite foods. After the dumb part of the supper is over, you can spend some time talking with your friends and family, sharing stories about the people who have passed on. Like I said, it can just be a very nice sentimental experience. My favorite part is that a dumb supper is typically served backwards, so you get to eat dessert first. And finally, my 10th, not top 10, and again, in no particular order except for maybe a little bit chronological item, is to watch the sunset or the moonrise on Halloween. This is a very simple but very powerful and moving activity. In general, I think we don't watch enough sunsets in this life, given how incredible and beautiful they are. And on Halloween, as we officially cross over into the darkest part of the year, I think it's really spooky and fun to watch those last rays of the sun dip below the horizon. It makes me think of all of those Halloween movies that have the setting sun and then the rising moon as a montage. Mainly I'm thinking about Twitches, actually. And this year, the moon will be in waning gibbous phase, so that means there will be plenty of light for any of your trick-or-treating post-dusk activities. And there we have it. Those are my 10 hopefully newish to you ideas for you to add to your October to-do list. Let me know down in the comments below if you have any totally unique to you or your family traditions that you celebrate this time of year.
Thank you so much for watching another VEDIO video. Remember, if you like writing, Halloween, or anything in between, feel free to subscribe. I'll see you back here tomorrow for another video. Until then, don't forget to go be happy, go be healthy, and go write. Bye!